Knox County 911.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Special Agent Richard A. Smith, badge number 0931 with the United States Illuminati Order. Right now, I'm currently stuck inside of the air conditioner unit on top of the Knoxville Museum of Art, downtown at the World's Fair Park.
I get mine from Pirate News.
Order! Order! Miss Order! Order!
Reality TV, only on Pirate News. Local, national, world, universe, the Pirate News starts now.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historic, opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
doesn't come up to us. Then to go.
I'll meet you in the.
He'll come to us.
Step right over here. This is for Gotcha. What service do you know?
Army.
Good. There you go.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good call. Thanks. All right. Well, while we're doing this, come on over.
Okay.
We're run late.
All right. Yeah, I guess you're on your way out, aren't you? I was just going to, as you can see, we're with Truth Radio, and not a lot of times the media doesn't necessarily call the truth. And I was just curious what
You noticed?
I was just curious what your opinion was with the happenings with all the different scandals of the current presidency, whether or not Obama is impeachable.
Well, I'm losing count because it all begins with Fast and Furious, and it runs through the IRS enemies list, it runs through Benghazi, spying on Americans. I got a colleague in Washington that was monitoring his phones.
Oh, really?
James Rosen. Yeah. So apparently, nothing is out of bounds for this crowd.
Right.
Now
So
they've got a real disaster on their hands, not just trying to answer questions about why the VA is killing people instead of curing them, but they've got some real problems with fiscal matters.
right. Right. Absolutely. It's all kinds of things going on there. So I would guess your response would be that he is impeachable?
Well, no, and the reason he's not is because the Congress of the United States has been so grossly inept and incompetent that they couldn't figure out which end was up, much less how to draw up the articles of impeachment and then run the trial.
Right.
And that's never going to happen. You've got a Senate that's run by it.
Right. I got you. So if you were in Congress, would you vote for impeachment?
Oh, I'd have asked for it a long time.
Okay.
I don't know of any president that's ever been as bad as him.
I got you. Well, do you see that you mentioned Fast and Furious? Do you see that correlating at all with the things that went on with the Iran Contras? And
Fast and Furious was this administration sending guns across the Mexican border.
Right.
Under the killing American woman. I don't know of any Americans that died because of Iran Contra.
Well, I'd say maybe some people that were involved with using cocaine in South Central LA. That was.
I'll tell you what. If you can figure them out, I'll testify against you because I don't know of anybody that's been cocaine.
Well, what I'm talking about is the cocaine that was trafficked to be able to finance the Iran Contras.
See, if that were true, why would I have done the things I did with Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, and the Koreans, Sultan of Brunei?
Okay. Well, I know that Michael Rupert, former LA lawman, confronted the CIA on the trafficking of drugs in South Central LA, and he said he was approached several times by the CIA.
Is that right? So answer me this, since you know so much about Iran Contra. Did I work for the CIA?
No, you did. Absolutely, I know you did. But I just know that.
And so would some of my closest friends be in the DEA if I was working drugs?
Well, I think it was in your journal that you made $14 million.
I wish I had.
During the Iran Contra?
I wouldn't be working this hard if I had.
Well, your journal's quoted as saying that $14 million that was used to finance some of the arms that was given to the Contras came from drug money. That came from your journal in the Iran Contra hearings?
Undoubtedly, that was something someone had told me, and I reported it accordingly to Jack Long, who was the director of the DEA.
Well, thanks for clearing that up, Colonel. I think there's a couple other quotes here.
Go right ahead. You probably know more about those journals than I do.
Let's see here.
You go on the other side?
What's your opinion of, I know during the Iran Contras, the term Rex 84 came up.
So what do you know about Rex 84?
I know that it's a strategic plan if some type of collapse happens in the United States, continuity of government.
No.
No?
It's not about continuity of government?
Continuity government. Okay. What's continuity government?
Well, when I was in the Coast Guard, I was involved in a lot of FEMA incident command structure training.
Yeah.
And it was about setting up that kind of command structure in case there was a disaster or something. And there was basically a suspension of constitutional law.
Really?
Yeah, is that not what it has to do with?
You'd have to show me that law because the
well,
thing
even if it doesn't say suspension of...
Excuse me, I thought you asked me a question.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
No, that's right.
Well, even if it doesn't say suspension of constitutional law, when all the agencies come together and there's no due process or anything like that, that's basically suspension of constitutional law. And
who called for that?
Well, I'm talking about
Ronald Reagan would have called for that?
I'm talking about what I learned as part of my incident command system training.
I have no idea what command you were.
Well, it was a FEMA training, and wasn't Rex 84 under FEMA?
No.
It didn't have anything to do with FEMA?
No, it had a lot to do with FEMA.
Well, what did it have?
With every branch of the military, and here's what it was all about. It was making sure that the government of the United States was never headed by somebody wearing a uniform. It was always going to be constitutional civilian succession to the presidency of the United States in the event of a Soviet nuclear attack.
So all these stuff.
Since you know so much, what was the time of flight for a missile from the Virginia Capes, cruise missile, and the backfire of a Bison bomber? What was the time of flight for it?
But is that not the time that...
No, excuse me, I was just asking. No mind you.
I'm not claiming that I know so much. I just know that I've read about internment camps. Well, I'm just... Well, what we're all concerned about, I think, is the internment camps that people have talked about. Rex 84, is that not part of Rex 84? There's nothing about internment camps.
I've heard of that from anybody.
Okay, well, thanks for clearing that up.
The congressman that said we'll talk about it later, I don't remember his name, is from Hawaii. Why would he not want to go on record about it?
You'd have to ask him.
Okay.
Yeah, all I did was answer the questions. I didn't ask him.
Okay.
But a lot of the planes that were used to send humanitarian aid to Nicaragua for the Contras were also registered as planes that were used to ship drugs back and forth.
Got me. I know of one. And he was
surely you've heard about it. You heard about it during the hearings.
He was a double agent.
He was a double agent?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was murdered.
So to your knowledge, there's never been a time... Barry Seal, yeah. I was actually...
That's the guy.
So if Jeb Bush runs for president in 2016, will your name be brought back out?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did you or George H.W. Bush put a hit on this on the CIA drug trafficker?
Who?
Barry Seal.
Did I put a hit?
Yeah. Did you have him murdered?
I killed a lot of people in my day. Every one of them was firing at me when they died. You understand what I'm saying? Do you?
I understand what's coming out of your mouth.
Good. Did I put a hit?
Yeah. Did you have him murdered?
I killed a lot of people in my day. Every one of them was firing at me when they died. You understand what I'm saying? Do you? Did I put a hit?
Yeah. Did you have him murdered?
I killed a lot of people in my day. Every one of them was firing at me when they died. You understand what I'm saying? Do you?
So, to your knowledge, though, there were no drugs used by the U.S. government to fund the Contras? No drug money? Okay, well, thanks for answering our questions.
Well, have a nice day.
One question from the cameraman. That's cool. What do you think about the NDAA?
The NVAA?
NDAA.
The National Defense Authorization Act?
Yes, sir.
I have not read the most recent copy of it. The last one I read had a thing in it called the Bowling Amendment.
I think indefinite detention of Americans is still in there.
Yeah.
Still in it.
Yeah, it was first put in what, 2012 or 2011?
Was I in office then?
No, we were just wondering your thoughts on it. We're not accusing you of it.
Personal opinion.
First I've heard of it.
Oh, really?
What about the Patriot Act? You were in office then, weren't you?
You guys,
but you appear in the news media all the time.
I work for the news media.
Exactly. So you're not aware of any of these issues.
You know what I do for Fox News?
What do you do?
I cover soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. People who are heroes serving our country in faraway places who get shot at every day. That's what I do for Fox News. My only beat. Don't do politicians. Don't do Brittany. Don't do assholes like you. That's what I do for Fox News. My only beat. Don't do politicians, don't do Brittany, don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you.
Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you.
while you're here to see Mr. North?
For YouTube.
Yeah. You will?
Sure. All right. You want to come over there? Or?
All right. We'll stand right here.
For the First Amendment.
How are you?
I'm good. And you are?
My name is Kenny Collins.
You might want to speak up.
I said my name is Kenny Collins. I go to school here at UT Knoxville.
Communications?
No, political science, but love it. And history major as well. Why are you here to see Mr. North?
Well, I'm here to see Colonel North because he epitomizes service to his country.
Can you explain that a little bit deeper?
Well, he served in Vietnam, and he has been 100% behind service members of all branches, not just one, not just because maybe it's a Marine, but because it's Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, you name it, he's there for.
Did you serve?
Yes, I did. I served in the Army. My older brother, he served in Vietnam with the 173rd Airborne Division, and we lost him in October of 1969. He was a recon ranger up in the Central Highlands, the cities of An Key and Bang Song in Vietnam. And when he came back, I was already in. I was stationed in Fort Lewis, Washington, waiting to go out. And back then, you didn't have to have the whole family in the because now it's an all-volunteer army. Of course, they had a draft back then. So, because I was a sole surviving son, they would not send me to a combat zone, although I did volunteer to go.
Right.
So I was going to go over and be with him, and then we got word that happened. My dad served in the Air Force in World War II. He was a lieutenant stationed in England, and he was one of the first lieutenants, or second lieutenants at the time, before he made a lieutenant, that had an all-African-American Air Corps.
Well, that's an amazing.
Back then, when they came out with the movie here, it's off the tip of my tongue, of the Army Air Corps.
The Tuskegee?
Tuskegee Air, right. We've lost him before all this came out, so I wasn't able to question him, but he was a lieutenant over a whole squadron.
Do you have any family that goes back in previous wars?
Well, my stepdad, after my dad passed, he served in World War II in Germany. He was a POW for 5 years.
Really? It's hard to tell.
Stalag, I don't know if it was
next one we can use this though.
It was one of the two. He was stationed over there and was caught and captured, he and his buddy, but he never saw his buddy again.
Right.
They were in the foxhole, and he got shrapnel wounds, and they captured him.
Wow.
And I still have all the historical information, pictures, and things like that.
Deep military history. Can I ask you another question? Mm-hmm. What do you think about the current administration and the prisoner swap change? Do you think that is an impeachable offense? And if not,
as far as I'm concerned, it is an impeachable offense because you don't deal with terrorists. You don't take one man who, although he's not convicted of anything, he did, according to
his platoon leaders,
said he walked off and left his post.
Correct.
To me, that is desertion.
Correct.
And you don't reward that.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And especially you don't give them 5 top commanders of the Taliban and
five of the deadliest.
And it broke a law that Obama signed.
What do you think about our Marine that is held in Mexico?
He should have been home a long time ago. That never should have happened.
In harsh conditions.
Never should have.
And when he crossed the border by accident, he called 911. The 911 told him, "We can't do nothing for you."
And it was just a wrong turn.
Wrong turn, and our leaders in this country need to stand up
and he declared that he had those weapons, and they were registered to him. And of course, we're dealing with a Mexican government who doesn't respect us. They act like they're our friends. They've got a big facade out there, and they don't.
Yeah, they like taking our money.
That's the person we should be trading for.
Exactly.
And not anybody, not no terrorist, but trading something non-military.
Yeah, he fought and survived in Afghanistan.
Exactly.
But he's locked up in Mexico for no reason.
It's just beyond me.
And anybody that's been to the southern border, you know that one little turn, 20 feet, you're in Mexico.
We're inundated now with hundreds and hundreds of children from Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico City, all over, who are coming across our border by the busload and no place to put them.
Speaking of that, the VA scandal, you know, President Obama, he let his fall man go, you know, and but I don't believe that it goes straight from the bottom to the top. The top person knows, is supposed to know, but you know, like you just said, all the immigrants that's being brought in, they're getting 3 meals a day. They're getting medical treatment that you cannot find at the VA hospitals.
A few years ago, he gave authority to the Attorney General and to the ICE, Immigration and Customs Services, that they would not prosecute illegal aliens. All they would do would be to hold them, and they ordered sheriffs in Texas, Alabama, Arizona, release them. Eric Holder would not prosecute them.
You brought it.
This is something that just deep burns me after my family members gave all, and friends have given all. I had friends I lost in Vietnam, and it just burns me.
Many people feel your pain. Since you brought up the sheriffs in Africa.
So, what's your name, sir?
My name is Chad Rogers.
Okay, Chad. Why are you here today?
Just recently retired from the Army, medical retirement. Just had an opportunity to meet Col North. So I was coming to get some good time for my father who's also retired.
Okay. What makes you such a big fan of this Colonel North?
I recall seeing all the Iran Contra stuff when I was a kid.
That was
historical values.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about next. What are your thoughts on that whole scandal?
Well, I'm retired Army, so no really opinion is allowable at this point.
Oh, if you're allowed to. Right. So, are you still in active reserve? Or?
I'm medically retired.
Oh, I should be allowed to talk. You agree, disagree? Or?
Well, he was admirable for accepting blame, even if it was a scapegoat or if he was responsible. It was admirable for him to step up and do what had to be done.
That's a unique point of view. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, sir.
What's your name and why are you here today, sir?
My name is Andrew Studoff. I'm here to get Oliver North's new book from my father for Father's Day. My dad was a Korean War veteran, helped us on the Honest John missile, had a great career with General Electric aircraft engines, Patriot, held a father.
A lot of veterans here today.
Amen.
Is that why you admire Colonel North?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And do you have an opinion on the scandals he was accused of in the 1980s?
All charges were dropped.
Yeah, well, I think he was put on probation.
He was put on probation. It's clear. And I'm proud of his service.
That's correct.
I admire him greatly.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, and thanks for your father's service. Were you in the service as well?
No, I was in between wars and just went on right into college.
All right. Well, thanks anyway.
All right.
Ready.
Action.
So, ladies, why are you here to see Colonel North today in Knoxville?
Because he is an American hero. He stands for what is right in this country. He's given his life to all of us. And I think we need to understand that what he stands for is what each and every American should be.
What exactly does he stand for, though?
For the truth and honesty of our country, what we were founded on.
Does what?
And for protecting America.
We're protecting Americans. So I take it that you don't agree with the prisoner swap change that Mr. Obama did?
No.
But what do you think about Mr. North's Iran Contra scandals of the 80s?
He took one for the team.
He took one for the team.
I'm here to surprise my dad for Father's Day. He's a retired Air Force captain.
Well, you're a great daughter.
And I brought my honey here. And he served in 1954 to 1958. Pacific Islands. And that was during the war. I brought him here as a surprise. I'm also married to a retired Coast Guard chief. He worked 21 years in the Coast Guard.
I was in the Coast Guard.
He coasted.
So let me ask you a question. should this president of the United States, Mr. Obama, I don't like saying President Obama, I say Mr. Obama, should he be impeached with all these scandals and the eroding of the Constitution of the United States?
There are articles that are written that if somebody would please stand up
if a leader in Congress will do it, and they won't, we don't have it right now.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. He's not qualified for the job.
Well,
he never was. We knew it at the beginning.
He's never been qualified.
Well, he's a very good speaker. That's all he is. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Did you or George H.W. Bush put a hit on this on the CIA drug trafficker? Barry Seal.
Did I put a hit?
Yeah. Did you have him murdered?
I killed a lot of people in my day. Every one of them was firing at me when they died. You understand what I'm saying? Do you?
I understand what's coming out of your mouth.
Good. Did I put a hit?
Yeah. Did you have him murdered?
I killed a lot of people in my day. Every one of them was firing at me when they died. You understand what I'm saying? Do you? Did I put a hit?
Yeah. Did you have him murdered?
I killed a lot of people in my day. Every one of them was firing at me when they died. You understand what I'm saying? Do you? That's what I do for Fox. It's my only beat. Don't do politicians, don't do Brittany, don't do assholes like you. That's what I do for Fox. It's my only beat. Don't do politicians, don't do Brittany, don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you.
Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes like you. Don't do assholes.
Where are your pants?
Not here. There are no pants.
Pantsless television. Okay, here we go.
Do you ever wonder what really goes on in the world? You know, sometimes I do. You know what I do about that? I watch Pirate News. Pirate News has all the news they don't want you to know about. When?
Say action.
Watch Pirate News and see what they don't want you to see.
No, never met him. Great. You know his work? Yeah. Somebody's in here? No, go ahead. So let's do a live interview right now. Tell us about what we need to do it where we can here, right? Right in fucking here. Right here. This is real shit. This is the real thing. Beautiful women in the background. We can't buy that shit. That would cost us $1,000 to hire a model to do that. Right. They'd probably do it for $100. Not a bunch of them. It costs you $1,000 to do it. If I get past the commercial, you'll see the video. I look horrible on the video. Well, that ain't that video. That's the black Crown Vic. Okay, tell us about the threat from Oliver North.
It wasn't me asking the questions, but what was said was...
Hold on. I got it. Hold on. Well, you can't see it. I know, it's impossible. No, hold on. I got him past this. Well, we'll zoom in on it. I believe you. It's really hard to drive and hold the camera looking backwards.
One other gentleman that was with us asked Ollie if he
there he is.
Had put a hit on...
There it is.
Now wait, do you have it with him following you behind?
He does.
Okay. Good. So, one other gentleman that was with us asked if Ollie North and George W. Bush, H.W. Bush, had put a hit on Barry Seal.
Right. Exactly.
Ollie North says, when I kill a lot of people in my life. When I kill people, I look them in the eyes. Do you understand what I'm saying? You'll see it on the actual video.
All right.
what other questions were asked? We asked him about Rex 84. We asked about his knowledge of drug running. And in his own personal journal saying that he made $14 million doing so.
He knew that's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, well, that information was brought up by Chris. I haven't asked the question.
Yeah, and of course he denied it. He's like, oh, I don't have any knowledge of that. And I'm like, well, you're aware of it, aren't you? Because they talked about in the hearings and you wrote it in your journal. He's like, well, yeah, I'm aware of it, but it was a double agent. First he said, I don't know about it. Then he says it was a double agent.
Here we go. Growing up, from my mother, she said if you ask somebody questions, they get upset about it, and they're getting edgy about something, more than likely it's true.
Exactly. Here's where he starts getting upset right here. The more defensive somebody is, the more likely it is. Look how he's writing his signatures.
Yeah.
Look at that look on his face. Oh, he's an old man now. Yep. He's pissed. Of course he is. Oh, he's pissed by the time. Well, he knows when you ask those questions, he might be the one looking somebody in the face and get a bullet in the back of their head on the way home.
Well, see, what I think has happened here, I think we have the first time someone's actually been called a name, a vulgar name, in one of these confrontational citizen journalism.
From somebody that high up, at least.
Yeah, I don't think that's happened. He called Kenny Collins an asshole.
Yeah, congrats. He didn't call me and threaten his life. I mean, he told him, when I kill people, I look him in the eye. Do you understand me? So I've got more angles. I'll upload them to your computer now if you want to. Yeah, that's right. And we got his face when he makes that threat to Kenny. And it's a different angle on Oliver himself, which I like my angle better because it doesn't have my ugly face and body in it so much. Just start working out. Yeah, beautiful bodies are important. Yeah. Truth is important. You know what we could have said to him? We could have said, well, Oliver, at least we didn't ask you these questions in front of all those people. Yeah, I mean, I was pretty respectful to him. He had horns coming out of his head. He was wearing his man.
Money at least gives somebody good chance with him, but what's that?
It didn't hurt anything. So how much time did you get asking questions? 10 minutes. Wow, really? I mean, do you guys ask him 10 minutes? Yeah. Well, we run it now about 9 minutes. About 9 minutes. Wow. Did it start uploading?
There's only 4 people left.
No. Let's see. That's the 55. Right there is where we started asking questions. So that's about a minute, and then the total video length is right at 11 minutes. 10 minutes, that's good. 10 minutes, that's good. 10-minute video. YouTube video. I was thinking when you edit it, since he kind of contradicted himself and lied a little bit, we could look up the facts or whatever, and you could put it in text where he lies and contradicts himself. Right. Yeah.
Well,
he just recently got his degree.
I know, and John Lee uses more adjectives than anyone I've ever met.
That's because I'm proofreading too much. Good. You see that? Hey, smile for the camera. Yeah. What's up, man? Yeah. I'm glad you're serving real well. That's awesome. I got several different videos. We did a bunch of interviews with a file.
Who were those guys that were working for us?
Male pages, I think. I think you're right.
The guy was wearing like burlap slippers.
Really?
Yeah.
My shoes are pretty crappy today. I need to get some new shoes.
But I mean, he looked very interesting get-up they had. I wish I knew somebody in Asheville to maybe show up over there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It's inside this one. Alright. Christmas videos. Alright. I'm not sure. What's the battery on that? Let's see. Bottom right. It's pretty good. It's about like that. Like you said, you stay calm and do it, and absolutely, it's devastating. If you can stay calmer than them, wow. I tend to get hyped up. Well, when I told him, I said, thanks for your time. Have a safe trip. Don't have any car wrecks on the way home. Yeah, exactly.
mine, but